familiar.
That was my reaction. Yeah, he needs to remember
UCO with him.
that
Oh my God, no. Well, when people are so desensitized that it's just business as usual, dying at such a massive rate.
Yes.
All of this, people wanted to take no action.
Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. It was properly posted on May 12th. All three commissioners are present. I'll lead us in the prayer and pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to get together and conduct the people's business today. Thank you for all the safety you've given our county, and ask that as the days go ahead, you will continue to protect us from disasters in this season that we're prone to see that. I ask that you'll give guidance for all the proceedings in the meeting today. In your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of May 2nd and 3rd?
I'll move we approve our minutes.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And before we get into our reoccurring items, I think Commissioner Calvey's requested an item 54 in the event that there may be people here for this hearing.
Right. I'm going to ask that we defer the item. In fact, I'll go ahead and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, go ahead and move to do that. I didn't know if anybody was here on that. I'm certainly happy to have you speak if you're here on that item, but I didn't know. So just in case you were wanting to speak on that item, I'm going ahead and moving to defer that item to our next agenda at this point.
Are you here, sir, for that item?
Yes.
Okay.
Joel Harrison with Crafton Toll, 300 Point Parkway Boulevard, Yukon, Oklahoma, 73099. This is just a scrivener's error on a final plat, changing one address. There was one typo, essentially. I'm here to answer any questions you all may have.
I'll be happy to get with you afterwards, but go ahead and move to defer it at this point.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you'll fill out your name with the clerk, please.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any other items before we go back to the...
Other than we have quite a few people here for, I think, a couple different presentations. And I didn't know if we want to take up, I know Commissioner Bloomer has one. And by the way, Commissioner Bloomer, I will defer mine to yours. We both came up with the same idea, but defer to yours. And then we have one as well where we have a number of guests here.
Yeah, I see that. Are the bids essential to be open to start processing? Do we need to do that? Okay. All right. So whichever your pleasure.
Okay. Let's see. Let's do item 28, Drug Court Month. And I know we have several folks here. So if you're here in recognition of Drug Court Month, could you please come forward? Oh, good. We have lots of folks. So May is National Drug Court Month. And for those of you who may not know, Drug Court is a program that is done all throughout the country. Yeah, we'll do a photo at the end. And we have Judge Kenneth Stoner here, who is the presiding judge over Drug Court, Madison Malone, who is the public defender. And then do we have an ADA here?
She sends her regrets.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
She,
So before I read the resolution, Judge Stoner and anyone else, feel free to kind of give folks an understanding of what drug court is, why we are recognizing it, and why it's so successful.
well, our drug court is a prison diversion program. So it's for people who are justice involved. They have criminal charges that would likely send them to prison. They also have been identified as someone who's a moderate to severe substance use disorder. And we've our program is designed to take that individual who would be going to prison, usually on average 5 to 7 years, work with them to address whatever underlying issues are there. So substance abuse is usually part of the problem, or addiction is part of the problem, but it's usually layered and complex. And so we have a very highly trained team that works with these individuals over a period of 18 to 24 months, sometimes even longer than that, and help them get healthy, stable, become productive members of our community. And I'm really happy to say that we have a 83% graduation rate, which is a little higher than the rest of the state. And part of the skill of the team is a big part of that, and also the support of our county and the leadership here that believes these programs are important. If you have a good drug court in your community, you also lower the crime rate by about 10%. And so it's also, if you are one of those that say, I want to make sure people are treated well, we can do that. If you're one that says, look, I want to make sure this is about public safety, we do that as well. So I was curious what you would call a law enforcement agent. If there was a small group of law enforcement agents that were able to reduce crime in your community by 10%, what would we call those people? Well, there would be heroes in my book. And whenever I think about our team, the people we have here that works really hard to help our individuals to become healthy and productive, but also significantly lower the crime rate in our community. I think I'm just really proud of the team that we have here. So, any other comments? And I'm really proud of our county also just taking the moment to recognize this group of people that work really, really hard. We also have some of our graduates that are here that have interesting stories to tell. If you don't mind, maybe we could indulge on that briefly. Sure.
Okay.
Somebody would.
My name is Braden Landreth. I struggled with addiction all of my adult life. I started using opiates when I was about 15 years old. I had gone to several private pay, state-funded rehabs. I had really wanted to be sober, but I had no tools. Every time I would go to a rehab, I'd be there anywhere between 1 day and 2 weeks. And then I would immediately relapse as soon as leaving. I am now 3 years sober, almost 3 years sober. And I've graduated drug court just recently. And not only did drug court give me the tools that I needed to stay sober. One of the things I often tell people is my goal at the time was to stop using drugs. Drug court creates a life for people where they don't desire to use drugs. And that's what's important about this program, and that's what's special about this program.
Great scene. Hi, my name's Disty Simpson. Today I'm 52 months sober.
Yay.
Drug court really saved my life. I was on a downhill spiral. I kind of joke the day that I was arrested, I was literally praying that morning to God to help me, and then I woke up in jail. So it wasn't really the route I was expecting, but it changed my life. Every day is one day at a time, and without this program, I wouldn't be where I am today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to say something? My name is Lindsay, and I'm with him when I say that I wanted to get sober long before I was able to get sober. I just didn't know how. And drug court opened that door to show me that there is a way of life. It's not just drugs and alcohol, it's sobriety. And so many things have happened, and all for the good in my life since I've been in drug court. I don't have the desire to use, and I actually see that there is a better life. So, and the team is amazing. If it wasn't for everybody that was part of the team, I'm so nervous.
You're good.
Richard's an active participant.
My name's Richard. I have 232 days sober. A few years ago, I joined the drug court program. I was working on my fourth DUI. I was either going to kill myself, go to prison, or hurt somebody. And I went into this program not knowing what to expect, and these people got behind me 110%, and it totally changed my life. Not only don't smoke weed anymore, I don't drink. I do community service on a regular. I help out everybody that I run across to try to change their lives and do my part. This man and this team has done so much for me. No words can describe. I can't tell you enough how much we need them in this community and to continue to help us change our lives. Thank you.
So drug court is definitely a feel-good program and a lot to celebrate, but also I do remind people that every dollar invested in drug court usually gets about a $4 return. I don't know anybody that gets a 400% return on their IRA, but it's money well spent. And I believe just to illustrate that further, just since 2016, people that have graduated drug court program have saved the state of Oklahoma $84 million in incarceration costs. That's just the hard cost of incarceration. And you can probably multiply that by all the other social services, the strain on law enforcement, the strain on jails. And then, but not only are they not taking, now they're contributing. And I'm just so grateful for the recognition today, and also the amazing team that makes it happen.
Okay. Is there a motion for this resolution?
I will move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And if what we could do is just have you step aside for just a second, then we'll go ahead and do the other group, and then we'll do all of our group photos at the same time. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, you want to bring up your law enforcement one?
Yes, so item 34.
Are we going to read the resolution?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
let's do that. Thank you.
And I do want to point out, you heard these incredible stories of people changing their lives. This program is hard. Like it's not easy to get into drug court, get clean and sober, and graduate. It's a lot of work. So you all put a lot of work into yourselves, and of course, your Judge Stoner and the team is incredible, but you all put that work in for yourselves. So, okay, I will read this resolution quickly. So this is recognizing May as Drug Court Month, whereas treatment courts have been restoring lives and families for more than 3 decades. Whereas there are now nearly 4,000 treatment courts nationwide and 59 in Oklahoma. And whereas treatment courts have a graduation rate of nearly 60% nationally, 67% in Oklahoma. And whereas Oklahoma County's treatment court graduation rate is 83%, making it one of the most successful programs in the state and in the nation. And whereas treatment courts have served more than 1.5 million individuals, whereas Oklahoma County's treatment court has had over 900 graduates since 2016 and is currently serving over 400 current participants. Whereas treatment courts save an average of $6,000 for every individual they serve. And whereas Oklahoma treatment courts have saved Oklahoma County taxpayers nearly $83 million. Whereas treatment courts substantially reduce substance dependence and its related harms, and do so at less expensive than any other criminal justice strategy. And whereas treatment courts improve education, employment, housing, and financial stability. And whereas treatment courts promote family reunification, reduce foster care placements, and improve outcomes for babies born to substance dependence parents. And whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships, and whereas treatment courts demonstrate that we all benefit when one person receives the treatment they need and successfully ends their substance dependence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Oklahoma County does hereby recognize May as Drug Court Month.
Gonna take up 34.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Bloomert, for bringing that up. Okay, so item 34 is a resolution declaring this week Law Enforcement Week in Oklahoma County, and this is a nationwide program. And we have with us here quite a few of our folks from our Sheriff's Office. Did anybody from OCPD or other law enforcement agencies make it? Okay, well, we very much appreciate everybody in our Sheriff's Office, and I don't know if, and Juvenile as well, thank you. I wonder if we could, Sheriff, you or some of your team want to come up and kind of introduce people?
I'll read some and let them introduce themselves.
Thank you.
Proud moment for them. So, National Police Week always comes with a mixed emotions, a bag full of mixed emotions for me. Established by Congress in 1962, it's a week when men and women that I'm so proud to serve with are recognized. A time when people genuinely show their appreciation, often with a smile or a handshake. But it is also a somber week. It's a week where we honor brothers and sisters that we have lost. A record 458 federal, state, tribal, and local law enforcement officers died in the line of duty in 2021. That's 458 families whose lives are changed forever. Children who grow up without a mother or father, parents who have to bury their own children, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents who will never get that hug or hear "I love you" again from that fallen hero. According to FBI records, 73 police officers were murdered in 2021, the highest number since 9/11 attacks. The world we live in is changing, and these days, more and more, it appears that law enforcement officers have a target on their backs. At the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, we have been very blessed that we haven't had a deputy murdered since 1935. Every night, I pray I never have to make that call to a wife or a husband, a mother or a father, that a deputy I served with, a person they loved, or a person I loved, won't be coming home again. Today, as we honor those fallen law enforcement officers, those who gave everything in service to their community, please also remember those who are left behind, those still carrying the pain of their loss. And I will always say, law enforcement is the foundation of the community, and I'm so proud to serve this agency, and we're so proud to serve Oklahoma County. So with that, come on up and introduce yourself, say your name, and where you work at.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Yarbrough. I work for the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office. I work for Protective Service Division with Court Detail.
Sir.
And my name is Devon Hampton. I work for the Sheriff's Department now, so that's all I have.
Good morning. My name is Robert Willard. I work with the Sheriff's Office upstairs in Protective Services as well.
Good morning, Jim Anderson, and I'm the undersheriff.
Hi, I'm Joey Mitchell, and I work for Protective Services as well at the Sheriff's Office, and I just love being able to serve.
My name is Elizabeth Madrigal. I work for Protective Services as well.
Hello, I'm Sean Shelby. I'm with the Patrol Division of the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office.
How do you like those Tahoes?
Tim Lumen, Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office. Judicial Services, we transport all the inmates, serve all the civil process.
How long have you been here, Captain?
40 years.
Wow.
Brooke Landys, I work for Protective Services.
Major Avery, I'm over the field operations.
Major Ricky Barrow, I'm over the Judicial Services Bureau, and I've been here 39 years.
Yes.
Brandy Wyatt, and I work in the Protective Services Division upstairs.
Richard Casals, I work in the extradition field. Darren Niels, you guys know me. I'm all over the place.
Deputy Ortiz, I work for the Protective Services upstairs.
Captain Abernathy, Protective Services, 27 years.
And in addition to our folks in the Sheriff's Office, we have folks from the Juvenile Bureau here, and Jamie Overstreet.
Yes, thank you for this recognition. They certainly deserve it, and they are in a unique position in law enforcement. Most people don't really think about them being part of the law enforcement community, but they do provide public safety. And another thing that they do is they have an opportunity to make a difference in a youth's life every single day. And I believe that they do. I believe that they probably will never know the kind of difference that they make. So they just have to have faith. So thank you very much. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Come on up.
Bruce Henley, Chief of Detention Services.
Good morning, Latoya Moore. I'm the Youth Guidance Services Manager. Maria Davenport. I've been with the Bureau less than 3 months, but I've been in law enforcement for 15 years.
My name is Cassie Aiello. I'm a sergeant at the detention center. I've been here 4 years.
Good morning. I'm Shirley Walker. I'm a lieutenant, and I've been with detention now for 10 years.
Good morning. My name is Doris Allensworth. I've been with the detention center for 4 years.
Good morning. My name is Scott Wiedemann, and I'm with Youth Guidance Services.
Others?
Okay. Well, thank you all very much for being here. And I'm going to go ahead, and it's all right, Mr. Chairman, read the resolution that we have for Law Enforcement Week. So, a proclamation declaring May 15th through the 20th, 2022, National Law Enforcement Week. To recognize National Law Enforcement Week 2022 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers who daily serve to protect our communities and safeguard our democracy. Whereas, there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, Oklahoma County Detention Facility, and Oklahoma County Juvenile Justice Center. Whereas, since the first reported death in 1786, more than 23,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas in the last year, Oklahoma County Sheriff's deputies have responded to 23,659 calls for help. Wow. The members of the Oklahoma County Detention Center oversee the booking or release of over 21,000 individuals annually. And the members of the Oklahoma County Juvenile Justice Center oversaw the intake or diversionary supervision of over 657 youth in 2021. And whereas these officers go above and beyond to provide safety to our community by also providing a human connection with those suffering in life circumstances. And whereas Oklahoma County is pleased to recognize and honor this group of men and women who exemplify professionalism, integrity, and strength in the face of an often challenging work environment. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Oklahoma County declare May 16th, 2022, and this week as National Law Enforcement Week and seek their continued protection. Thank you all. I will move the item.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, Jamie, do you want to read item 47 that kind of goes along with this, I think?
Okay.
You're just gonna, just cover it under this? Okay. Well, let it be noted that she was also trying to make sure you were honored with or without this other resolution. So thank you, Jamie, for your conscientiousness. Okay. Is there any other presentations?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
I think that's all.
All right. Well, we can take some pictures. So who wants to come first?
We can do drug law.
Okay.
If all the folks from the Sheriff's Office and Juvenile come up.
Well, you don't want to do group photos?
Oh, we can. We can do them separately. We can do Juvenile first and then Sheriff.
Okay. Yeah. So the budget board members, Butch.
Yeah, we have to do two rows. Thank you all very much. Okay. And we'll definitely have to do two rows here. I think we'll have to do two rows here. Pack them up. There you go. There you go. You want us to use this to take a picture, or you go? Okay. All right. Well, we. Okay. Get on both sides. Need a few over here. There we go. There we go. Hold on one more. Thank you all.
Okay. So just so we have two citizens to be heard before we go into executive session. Do you want to, Mr. Washington, go ahead and address us?
Oh, Michael Washington, 2900 Northeast 18th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 7311, and another one. I'm here today, and I won't hold you long. We have a very serious problem with this jail. Another inmate has recently died this past Friday. And according to Mark Upgren, it had to have possibly been something to do with drug in his system. This is a very, very touching subject to Michael. And a frightening one is that. So all I can say is, here we go again. The same old nightmare on Elm Street. The same Friday the 13th that we grew up on. And the only difference is that these characters are not fictional in this point. Unlike Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, the actors are real. Perpetrators and victims are very real. Bloodshed is real. The bed bug and mold are very real. Oh, and did I forget to mention? Fentanyl is very real. And so I say, without holding you much longer, that these deaths occur inside these jails almost repetitively at will. And yet there are many ways and many people who can corral that situation if they choose. The last victim who died again was Eddie Garcia, 25. And I'm not saying that lightly. I am tired and fed up with having to continually hear about inmate deaths, whether caused by carelessness or design. It must be stopped. Period. Let me ask you a question, then I'm gone. And this is a $64 question for many of us. Many people sacrifice their lives. As a matter of fact, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize this beautiful ceremony just before I got up here. So again, thank you everyone for your services. I would like to try and understand one thing. Are you trying to make a case for a larger jail by allowing all these deaths to occur? Or are you trying to let me understand, of course it won't happen, that a bigger jail is necessary to corral the problems that we have in society? I say it's not just something that we can bargain for. We do not need a larger jail that's designed to hold 1,800 inmates, and it would only produce bigger and larger problems than the current smaller jail faces already. Closing out. To date, since 2016, there have been many, many deaths. As a matter of fact, quite consequently, there have been at least 66 since 2016, 18 of which has been up on my side of 20 and moving forward. 2020 moving forward. Closing out. That amounts to 10.1 deaths a year. Does a new jail need to be built? Of course. I would be preposterously crazy if I did not admit that. And yet the answer is not a $350 million plus jail where you're going to find more problems than what you already feel today because you're already shorted of manpower. So now if you're shorted of manpower with a smaller jail and you increase a new jail with larger people, don't you think that that's going to increase at least half of what is going on now? Oh, come on. Closing out right here. Let me, with strong determination, I don't get so excited when I get into it. I say to you, there needs to be a new jail built. There needs to be also a mental health facility to accommodate however many citizens you bring into the jail. Let's consider the fact that 668 of the 1,600 inmates that were previously interviewed were found to have experienced some kind of mental health issue. I think such a facility is obviously necessary. These issues, rounding my argument out, these issues coupled with the building riding on its last crippled leg, deterioration in the infrastructure is frighteningly high, mold, bed bug infestation, plumbing issues, corroded pipes, and a host of other problems that escape me at this moment. There can be no doubt that the detention center needs to be built, but not for the absurd, outlandish proposed pricing of $350 million. Last word. The Oklahoma Coalition Against People Abuse proposes, yes, that a new jail be built, but far less for the money that's asked for. We believe that a capacity of only 600 inmates to be placed in this jail, this new jail, half of the current, or what the current jail holds today. We believe that there should be a mental facility, a law library, and of course a new health care facility annexed to the jail that is to be built. This can all be done with the asking price of less than $150 million. And I would say we could then free up the money, $200 million asked for, to tackle homelessness, job training, education, and fixing our badly needed roads. And I say thank y'all very much for this opportunity to speak. I'll be back.
You requested to speak on 20 items. Do you have any other?
Oh, just to 43 about the juvenile thing. I want to say that to say this is very important that our juvenile facility be given a brush up, because our children today are our tomorrow's prisoners. So again, we need to do something to continue to deter them from having to venture off into a life of crime before they get an adult age. So again, I'd like to say thank y'all for much for even considering those people, and I definitely want to get involved in that area as well, which I'm already in the community anyway. I do, domestic violence symposiums, I do juvenile truancy programs, and y'all don't believe me. I'm like Washington really involved, okay? I don't just try to look good. My idea is not to look good on camera, but to be effective in my presentations. And I hope that I've made my mark clear at this moment. Again, I shall be back. Thank you.
Does that cover your 20 items, or is there anything?
Oh, I didn't want to call all. I must misread it. Let me tell you. No, let me say this in closing. Thank y'all very much for giving me this opportunity. Ms. Bloomberg, I need to speak to you when time permits. Not right now, but a little later. But this covers everything I need to say. I've got to go because I got to be in somebody's courtroom. Of course, I don't have a charge. Oh, by the way, y'all know what? The state had filed charges on me. Let me say this right quick. Yes, they said I falsified documents because I saved the iconic Freedom Center. Guess what? The powers that be who are black faces like me, yes, and not European, they thought they had Michael Washington. But you know what the judicial system said? Hold on. Who but Michael Washington have the audacity to control and preserve a historic landmark that Mother Clara Luper went to prison and jail for, and who was arrested and been bitten by dogs and things, but only I saw it is a historic point here in Oklahoma history. So black history is, in fact, American and Oklahoma history. And with that, I will say, thank y'all very much, and I'm gone. Thank you.
Okay, Christopher Johnson.
It was very nice to see the drug court folks in here. I work in mental health, and I've also counseled folks who were substance abuse and other forms of addiction. So that's something that, and I also had a problem with alcohol years ago. So that's something that I know it's a program that actually works. It's a sign that even if it's not perfect, we can get it right. You know, and that's why I come up here, talk about the jail situation, is because there's things that we can do here, right now, not waiting 5 or 6 years from now for some magic pill to solve it. We can do something now. Oftentimes I rattle off statistics, I rattle off the math that is without a doubt real. We lose an average of 12 to 15 people per year. We lost 16 last year. We've lost a total of 7 human beings in 5 months. That's the average that was lost on average when the sheriff's office was in charge. Was it perfect with the sheriff's office? No, but it was much better. It was much better. And they had a higher population. Okay, that's math. You can't dispute that. That is public record. So, we can do better. We can do something now. The trust has failed. It was created by CJAC, which was created by the Chamber of Commerce. The wealthiest people in Oklahoma County and the municipalities. What do a bunch of billionaires know about justice reform? Nothing. Because when you become that rich, you typically break laws and extort people. That's it. So, and you guys signed him in. You voted him in. So the buck does stop at you. The trust always denies accountability, which according to their indenture that they signed in 2019, they took over in 2020. They've had over 2 years to fix this problem, to come up with a solution, and it's worse statistically. It's worse. When you lose more human beings, doesn't matter if it smells better, doesn't matter if a wall's cleaned a little bit better, it's worse. Site checks, making sure rival gangs are not together, medical checks, showers, making sure people have toilet paper, making sure the people aren't being ritualistically beaten and everything like that. That's not achieved by a non-living entity called a building. That's done with people, human beings that are trained. The NIC, National Institute of Correction, as well as the David Parker report, the people who the trust hired, all said the same thing. It's not so much a lack of people. Infrastructure is a problem, yes. It's mostly people not adhering to standards, no follow-through, and no accountability. So who's telling the truth? People who study jails and go throughout the nation and look at the same problem, because we're far worse, but we have the same problems in other places. So I'm tired of hearing of more and more human beings lost. I have to speak with folks, as well as Mr. Washington and other people. We have to constantly consult people. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And they see no improvement. You guys have the power to do something. You guys need to exercise your injunctive powers. You can file for an injunction to get the Department of Justice in there right now I'd love the sheriff's office to take over, because I believe that this sheriff would be a lot better than the other ones. He's not coming over to dinner, and I'm not a lobbyist for him. I just think that the man's a better person than the other ones. But the reality is, he hasn't spoken up yet. So he doesn't want it. We need to get the Department of Justice in here, because it would behoove you guys who have got the government looking into you, the local government looking into you, to take action. Because the more and more you wait, the more bodies that continue to stack up, it's not going to bode well for you. Doesn't matter what titles you are, if people are determined enough, they'll take action. So again, the time is now. The time is now. Call for injunctive relief and get the Department of Justice. Because the lie that gets pushed that it would be more expensive to get the DOJ in here is a lie. But let's just say, for instance, that is the case. That it would be a little bit more, a couple more bucks here and there. How much is a goddamn human life worth? How much is it? Is it worth maybe dropping a few couple million or a couple 100,000 to get somebody in here properly trained? Because we don't have trained law enforcement, properly trained people in there right now. Obviously, it's indicative of what's happening right now. So, how much is a human life worth? And I would really like one of you all to answer that. How much? And I want you to tell this so that the people can see this. You tell them, person's worth this, and this is why we won't call for the DOJ. So think about that. I would like an answer. Are you going to call for the DOJ to come in? And how much is a person's life worth? And how many more people are you going to allow to die just to fulfill some billionaire's dream to get a damn jail so that they can make money off of it? I'd like an answer.
Any other citizens to be heard? Okay. I think we have council present. We've got, you want to do executive session now?
Sure.
Okay. Is there a motion to recess into executive
I'll move
session?
we recess into executive session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Is that why?
54, but 55, if there's questions.
Okay.
It's a planning item. He's here to speak on it.
Gotcha.
If y'all have questions.
Gotcha. Michaela, you ready? Okay, is there a motion to return from executive session into regular session?
I'll move we return.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
At the request of the sheriff, we will start with item 56.
Thank you all for helping me out with this. We got to be somewhere here pretty quick. So the first two, 56 and 57, this is a contract between Brooks and Jeffrey Marketing, Inc. This is for our website. To get a website design that we can have, facts to give, to the citizenry and stuff like that, where it can be interactive, because our current website is not very, not the best.
Is your current website separate from the county's website? Do y'all have your own standalone?
No, this is the county's website.
And so will this be a standalone?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move items 56 and 57.
You're working in conjunction with MIS on this?
I
Are
don't
they
believe
aware
so.
of this?
They're aware of it, because we've called them several times about updates on our website. Like, hey, can you fix this? Can you fix that? Don't know if it's able to be fixed or what's going on with that situation. But we have requested for several things to be done for a good length of time now.
So if you all have your own standalone website, will you internally be responsible for managing it and updating it, or will IT be?
No, we will manage and update it and handle all that
Okay.
information. And I can get you more of that information, all the specifics.
Okay.
So are you pulling off of oklahomacounty.org and you'll just have your own
No, I
domain
believe that one will exist, but we will have our own website.
with another URL?
Yes. I probably should get.
And is our DA, she's left.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's examined and approved this.
Yeah.
Because firewall concerns or links concerns, because I know that we've had this on community sentencing where she's denied things before because of exposure and also because of commissioners being in charge of IT.
I understand. You want to give this a longer look?
Well, I don't see any problem passing it, but when you're implementing it, you'll need to make sure, I think, right? You would prefer to defer it?
It turns out we're gonna need a meeting on Thursday. Do you care if we wait till Thursday? It's not that I'm against it. I just want to make sure we're not creating an issue that's inconsistent with the ruling on community sentencing.
Oh, no.
Then I'll withdraw my motion for that item, and I will move to defer it until our next scheduled meeting, which we think will be Thursday. Yeah,
and then
special.
Thursday I'll have more detailed information for you so you can make more well-informed decision.
I apologize for not having any answers of my own before this meeting. So, okay. That includes for 57 also?
Yes, sir. And then 58, 59, these are renewals for our respective schools. Deer Creek.
Wait. You want a second 50?
I'll second deferring items 56 and 57 to our next meeting, which should be this Thursday.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sorry, Sheriff.
You're fine. No worries. 58 and 59 are our MOUs, our renewals for our schools, Deer Creek and Choctaw Nakoma Park.
Move 58 and 59.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
60 is a contract renewal between Automation Integrated and the Board of County Commissioners. This is AMAG site support subscription, and this is access control software for the courthouse annex and ICB.
Move item 60.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
61 is a renewal between Cleartronic and Board of County Commissioners for ReadyOp dashboard subscription. This is text paging system, so when we need to push alerts out and things like that, we can do it.
Move item 61.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
62 is a contract renewal between Computer Projects and the Board of County Commissioners for OpenFox Messenger license maintenance for OLETs and NCIC access. This supports dispatch connection to OLETs.
I'll move item 62.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
63 is a renewal between Fog Data Science for an annual subscription for online reporting services, and that's for cell phone tracker investigations.
Move item 63.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
64 is a contract renewal between Native Energy Source. It is the APC on-site service for UPS serial number. This is the uninterrupted power supply to dispatch.
Move item 64.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
65 is a renewal between Smart Safety Software, street draw licenses, maintenance subscription. And so that's for our, where we draw our crashes and stuff like that.
I'll move item 65.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
66 is a contract renewal between Utility Data Services. It's for data research services for locating defendants for outstanding warrants.
Move item 66.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
67, this is our final one, contract renewal between United Engines LLC for annual generator maintenance at Midwest City Substation.
Move item 67.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Sheriff, for
Thank you.
waiting.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay. John Michael, which item are you here for?
Mr. Chairman, I'm here on item 40.
You care to go ahead and address that?
That's fine.
Yes, and thank you. John Michael Williams, appearing on behalf of Oklahoma Industries Authority, which for some 60 years has aided Tinker Air Force Base with respect to the expansion, protection, and operation of Tinker Air Force Base and related facilities. And this particular item is a public hearing with respect to the closure of Douglas Boulevard from 44th Street south to 74th, plus a portion of 59th Street. And this is for the purpose of number one, protecting the security of Tinker Air Force Base. And here's the map that, of course, shows in yellow the area that's the portions of Douglas that are being closed. And then furthermore, to connect Tinker Air Force Base with existing facilities that already exist to the east of Douglas. And they're shown the MROTC property at the northeast corner of 59th and Douglas, which are the three hangars you see there, and then further the fuels depot, which is the area in the farthest north in blue on the east side of Douglas. But moreover, this further allows the creation of the new B-21 strike bomber site, which will bring many jobs to Tinker Air Force Base, will further protect Tinker Air Force Base with respect to the periodic reviews of military installations as to whether or not they should continue. And so this particular plan has been in process for some 4 years, and we've just gotten to this point of it. And there are many steps in the process, both involving the city and also involving the county, and then later involving the district court. And then further, there's numerous aspects involving the Department of Defense that are also important to this process. Now, the question may arise, well, where does the traffic go? And the traffic, first, Oklahoma Industries Authority commissioned a traffic study. And what it showed was that the traffic on Douglas, it's not all pass-through traffic. A good portion of it is going to Tinker. If you're coming from the north, you go to your job at Tinker, and then you go back to the north. If you're coming from the south, you do the same thing. You go to Tinker, and then you go back to your home to the south. So not all of it is pass-through. But that traffic that is pass-through, well, traffic engineers talk about origin and destination. Where are you going? Well, if you're going straight south, you run into Lake Stanley Draper. So you can't go too far south, but you may be going to the lake. But if you're going to the east, well, you probably are going to take Interstate 40 to the east. If you're going to the west, and you're going down to Interstate 240, you're probably going to go to Post Road and go south, and then you'll go further to the west to whatever your destination might be. And there are destinations in both of those directions. But further, certain traffic will go to Post Road. And in that respect, the city of Oklahoma City is engaged in a process by which the traffic carrying capability of Post Road is to be increased and to be implemented in view of the proposed closure of Douglas. I'm glad to answer your questions.
Just to clarify, the current access into the main gate there at Tinker on Douglas, that's still going to remain open, correct?
Yes,
And
and
then-
that's to the north of 59th,
Right.
but there's a but.
Yeah.
In time, there'll be a new super gate
Right.
constructed.
But the point is that doing this will not create traffic jams for people working at Tinker, which, of course, Tinker is the largest single-site
Correct.
employer in the whole state.
Yeah.
So
That is correct. Even after the closure of this roadway, you'll be able to come directly to Tinker.
right.
Yeah.
So the pass-through traffic that you're talking about in probably the large majority of instances just goes 1 mile further down to Post Road off I-40 or 240 as the case may be, and is able to, be, in other words, it's only mildly disruptive to the vast majority, if at all disruptive to the vast majority of people that travel on that road.
You are correct.
And as just a matter of the record, there is a cemetery there that's affected by this, and they've worked with, and I've attended a public town hall meeting of sorts that addressed their concerns, and they were given every assurance that they'll be allowed access to still remember their loved ones. And
That is correct. And there is an existing cemetery now on Tinker Air Force Base itself. And there are procedures by which those who want to come and visit their loved ones do so now on Tinker.
right.
You said there's going to be a super gate built in the future. Do you know where that's going to be?
Yes, I do. If you go to 44th and Douglas, the large red tract, which is a 40-acre tract, it will be there. And then there'll be a super gate to the south, and it will be at 74th and Douglas, slightly to the west and a bit north. That's where the south super gate will be.
Further questions? Is there a particular motion that needs to be proper for this?
Do we need to open the public hearing?
Yeah.
After you open the public hearing and receive any comments, then a motion to approve the resolution and approve the resolution would be the proper thing.
Well, I'll move we go ahead and open the public hearing on this matter.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, anybody want to speak about it? Yes, sir.
Good morning. Just a couple of quick comments. My name's Jerry Zimmerman. I live on Berryman Road, to which this property will expand. And I attended the little public gathering that you had. I don't really represent the group in the neighborhood as a whole. I'm just here to learn as much as I can about, in particular, the expansion of Tinker over toward Berryman and how that will affect life on Berryman. So if there's a way to tap into the information stream just to learn how those facilities will come over toward my street and what kind of tree lines or other barriers might be possible to minimize, lights and traffic on the base from affecting life on Berryman. Why I'd be most interested in doing that if we can do that.
Okay. Yeah, we deputized Cynthia Reed, the communications person from the chamber that night, to just kind of agree to be the central conduit person for the messaging, because she was working with both us and the base.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, did you exchange information with her that night?
I did, and there were a lot of email addresses collected and all, but nothing has come from that.
Okay.
I had a follow-on conversation with the OIA, with Keith Kuhlman, and we
Okay.
talked quite a bit, but as far as getting information from Tinker or anybody in public relations at Tinker, they've been kind of quiet on the matter, so.
I got you. Okay, well, if you will fill out a form here with the clerk, then I'll get with you and make sure we're getting you any information. Do you have any particular questions or concerns today?
Like I say, I was most interested, the traffic that does go south on Douglas doesn't necessarily dump into Draper because they go in there to get to 240. So that's, there will be some of that traffic that will have to offset over to Post. Post is a 2-lane road. the people on post, again, I don't represent them, but they're real concerned about that traffic. I was real interested in learning whether there will ultimately be a gate at Berryman Road and 59th, and I'm assured, or as much as we know, that there won't be, because that would, you know, what that would do to Berryman. So I assume that's still the case.
I have certainly never heard of that being discussed. Have you, Mr. Williams?
Okay, good. And again, any kind of impediments to noise and lights and those kinds of things that can be left between Berryman and the activity that's going to expand that way, I'd be real interested in learning about that.
Yeah, and I think I was told, this is not my district, but that Post Road, I think Mr. Williams referenced this earlier, I believe the city has plans to widen, correct? Or at least do something. What is it they're planning on Post Road? I know it's not your client, but if you happen to know.
The city has plans to improve the traffic carrying capability of Post Road, which may or may not be widening.
Okay.
And this is based on a desire to be sensitive to the desire of the people whose homes front on Post Road.
Right.
But you can improve the traffic carrying capability with left-hand turn lanes, signalization, even roundabouts.
Well, kudos to you, sir, for keeping up with this without that communication. I'm sorry if that didn't happen, but thank you for coming today.
Well, that's all right. That's why I'm here, to just stay in the, like I say, the information flow. And so I'll get with the clerk and get my information to her, and
I'll follow up with you, I promise.
anything you can send me, I'd love to have.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you for your time. Are there others to, yes, Randy? Oh, okay. Any others to speak? If not, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Move we close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now you're considering a resolution to grant permission to the United States to potentially close these section line roads at a later date. You've already received permission from the Transportation Commission back in March. You've got a letter to that effect. So that's what your resolution is dealing with today.
And for the record, Mr. Williams, Oklahoma City is doing a parallel process in approving the closure of this section line road.
Oklahoma City has completed a parallel process. The Oklahoma City Council by ordinance voted to close these roadways on January 4th.
Okay.
Some time ago.
Okay. Well, I will move approval of this resolution granting the United States Air Force has the ability to close this section line road.
I'll second.
Any other further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
My thanks to Gretchen Crawford and to Mr. Williams' firm for all your work on this. It's been a big item for the economic development, and I appreciate the citizens, most of which I think were exceedingly reasonable at our meeting, and I want to say thank you to them because they totally get the importance of Tinker to our community.
Yeah, and I would like to echo that. I referenced it earlier, but Tinker is the largest single-site employer in the entire state, and to work with the Air Force to keep and, if where possible, expand the workload at Tinker is, economic development issue number one for the entire state.
Yep. Okay. And unfortunately, I thought we dealt with Mr. Harrison with one item earlier, but he's waited all this time for another. So could we go ahead and hear item 55 so that he can go? I apologize for your having to stay.
55?
Yeah. He signed up to speak on this item, Tyler. Okay.
I should introduce it. This
Okay.
is just, 55 is just a minor, I'm sorry, got it confused here. That's the Tuscan Estates Phase 2. Accepting the final plat. This is a subdivision that's been built, completed, and they are ready to sell lots. They've met all our specifications and so forth.
It's in my district. I'll go ahead and, we are speaking. I'm going to move the item, but you're welcome to speak if you.
Mr. Harrison, do you have any comments on it?
No, sorry for taking you all's time.
I'm sorry we kept you waiting.
No, that's okay. Joel Harrison, Crafts and Toll, 300 Point Parkway Boulevard, Yukon, Oklahoma, 73099. Again, sorry for wasting your time. I just was here to answer any questions you all might have.
Yeah, no, all good. I'll move the item again. And I didn't know you were here on this item. I thought, okay, so I'll move the item.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Tyler. All right, now, I'm getting back to
the beginning.
go back to the beginning. All right, Ms. Chantel, you want to talk to us about the PCAR statement?
This is now just a routine item. Each month, we'll be bringing to you the transactions that were with the P card. This is for the month of April.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Your next item is a recommendation regarding an RFP that was sent out for the use of the Oklahoma County Spencer substation. We worked with Infrastructure Committee on this. That was requested by them regarding this property. We sent out the RFP to all of our public platforms and as well as some local interested parties through the city of Spencer. Also, we have a couple of partners with the Economic Development Office with the state and with also ODOT to connect with small minority-owned, women-owned businesses in the area to see if they'd be interested in this opportunity. One response was received from Summit Youth and Sports Association, and it was presented to the Public Improvements Infrastructure Committee, who is recommending award to this organization, and there is a related item later on in the agenda for a lease agreement. The recommendation from infrastructure was so that the award would be contingent upon those lease terms being agreed upon, and speaking with Keith Monroe, it seems that went very well and successful. So I'm just presenting that to you today, that I am recommending award to Summit Youth and Sports Association in regards to their lease at the Spencer substation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
And is the lease just through June 30th?
The current, I believe it would be on a renewal basis. I don't have all the details on the lease, but we can speak to that. The first year would just be from June 1 to June 30.
Okay. I'll move the recommendation of the purchasing office.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If I can just add one more thing, I think it was important to add that the amount of the lease was $2,000 per month, and that was an acceptable value after further research. Opening of the bid is next on the agenda.
All right, good morning. We have two bids to open. First is CW 23017 for exterminating services. And we have four bids. The first is Allstate Termite and Pest Solutions. Second is RIP Pest and Weed Control. We have Duncan Pest Control. And Irwin's Pest Control.
Okay, is there a motion that be tabulated?
Oh,
Is that it?
One more. The next is bid CW 23031-1 for landscape maintenance services. We have three bids to open. First is Site 1 Landscape. Second is Eckroat Seed Company. And Madison Turf Farms. And that concludes the bid opening.
I will move they be tabulated and returned.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 5 is, I didn't know if I had to wait. Item 5 is a recommendation for landscape maintenance services, CW 22077, and this is a bid period that will expire in and around October, November for the off season, and it does provide renewals for this, but the facilities department wanted, if bringing in a new vendor, to have a short amount of time to get to know this vendor and what our expectations are. We went out for RFP and had 6 vendors attend our pre-bid meeting. Only one responded to the RFP, and when we followed up with the rest of the vendors, it's a very busy time being that it's spring. They just were not able to commit staff and scheduling for this opportunity. The bid that was received from Signature Landscape met all of the criteria and is being recommended for award today. We met with facilities. It's a good reputable company in the area, does a lot of work downtown, and I am recommending award to Signature Landscape for our landscape maintenance services.
Is there a motion?
I'll move approval of the recommendation of the purchasing office.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move we approve our claims.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No change to the blanket?
No changes.
I'll move we approve our blanket.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any individual consideration on consent docket? If not, is there a motion?
I'll move our consent docket.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You have item 27.
Item
Commissioner.
27 is pretty routine. We've done this in the past, allowing, I believe the request came from Melinda Wall, to hang flyers around the courthouse for some court reporting training programs. So I will move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and you've dealt with 28. 29, this is just a quick little amendment to our contract with Oklahoma City regarding the contract with graffiti. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then Bethany Public Schools mutual agreement. I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And item 31, this is where we have a salt barn that we use with the Hera Industrial Park over there, and I'll move that item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then just again, an agreement between Oklahoma County and the Zoo Trust. It's technically a separate entity of Oklahoma City, and so for some tasks that we're called on to do with Shine Out There, that's a separate billing code, and so that's the reason for item 32. I'll move it unless there's a question.
No, we got to keep those animals from polluting the environment there, so second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
District 3.
Yeah, this is a contract with City of Edmond to repair about a mile of Air Depot Boulevard within the city limits of Edmond, east of I-35. There's no questions. I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You dealt with 34 and 35.
I'll move to strike 35 because Commissioner Bloomer did a fine job with her similar item. So
I'll
Okay.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 36 was discussed in executive session. Is there a motion?
I'll move till we approve item 36.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same with 37.
I'll move we approve 37.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Engineering.
Item 38, this is a funding agreement with ODOT for the Britton and Luther Road intersection that will be built later this fall. We're in for 20%, $109,690.
If there's no questions, I'll move it.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And item 39 is signing the title sheet approving the plans for a bridge in District 1 on Hefner Road.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We've dealt with item 40. Mr. Monroe.
Item 41 is a potential lease between the Board of County Commissioners and Summit Youth in Sports Association, the only respondent to the RFP that purchasing sent out, for the property located at 8601 Main Street in Spencer. That's the sheriff's substation. It's to be used primarily as a community action center. The lease rate is about $3.40 per square foot, which I believe is acceptable given the location, the condition of the building. The only other rental units available were potential grow houses in that area and really weren't applicable as comparatives. This lease is set to begin June 1st, will expire at the end of the fiscal year, so 30 days only, And then I'm sure it will be asked to be renewed for next fiscal year. There is a 90-day termination clause. So should the county need the building for some other reason, or if the tenant doesn't want to continue the lease, there's that provision for an exit.
Okay.
Is the potential tenant requesting any changes made to the building?
No major changes at this time. There was some discussion about installing a kitchen, which is a big deal and cumbersome and would certainly slow the process down. So the discussion had to do with catering, food trucks, and those kinds of things that would not require any kind of kitchen or cooking facilities to be constructed or located in the building.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you for working that out.
Thank you.
Jamie.
Good morning. Item 42 is standard renewal for psych evaluations. Dr. Fox.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 43 is the same thing with a different psychologist, Dr. Trower.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 44 is a DHS continuation lease agreement. They're anticipating the entire fiscal year and go to 2023.
Okay. Any questions?
Is this the space that a few weeks ago they asked our blessing to make some alterations to it? Okay.
Yes.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 45 is a standard renewal for lawn maintenance.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 46 is a contract with the American Correctional Association to conduct our audit. The audit's now been moved to July, and you all have approved this in March. But after approval, we noticed that there was a couple of corrections that needed to be made, and like in titles, nothing that affected money or any of that. So that's all this is.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 47 is strike. Okay.
Is there a motion to strike?
I'll move to strike item 47.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 48 is a resolution to accept donations. Whereas the following citizens donated clothing to the Oklahoma County Juvenile Bureau's clothing closet: Miss Carrie Wade, Miss Hattie Kennedy, and Miss Candace Pace. And whereas Mr. Samuel Carnes with the Oklahoma Department of Libraries donated new books for the Detention Library. And whereas Miss Carla Sarko with the United Methodist Church Women's Group donated Easter goodie bags and handmade birthday cards to the youth in detention. Whereas Miss Brandy Allen donated stress balls and fidgets to be placed in the counseling areas in detention. Whereas Oklahoma County accepts these donations with gratitude, be it therefore resolved, the Board of County Commissioners of Oklahoma County does hereby accept these generous donations and expresses great appreciation for the support received by the citizens of Oklahoma County.
Is there a motion?
I'll move approval. Move to receive.
And as the father of 4 boys, I sure appreciate those fidget things, and I will second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 49, standard renewal for our lease on our postage meter.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 50 is a standard renewal for our copiers.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And item 51 is also a standard renewal for copiers for the Internal Affairs and Maintenance Office.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Tyler.
Item 52 is a zoning request. The Planning Commission met on April 21st and approved this and recommends your approval for a special use permit for this property so that they can construct a wedding venue and special events, business meetings and things like that. They've supplied us with the working hours, the times of operation, and we had no protests from any of the adjacent property owners. And it was pretty much unanimous.
That's rare.
Okay. So I need your approval and signature.
I'll be happy to move the item.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 53 is a lot split, actually. But in our new regulations, anytime you are going to split property less than 5 acres, there has to be a plat made because you're creating a small plat and it has to be before the public. It's not done in an administrative way. So this is I believe, a 5-acre tract that's being split. The parents are giving the other property to their siblings. I mean, they're not siblings, they're kids, so that they can build a place to live. It's a two-lot. There's no roads to be built. They have access to the property, and there's just a two-lot subdivision that's going to be called Johnson's Way. And we ask for your approval.
I'll move approval.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Tyler.
All right.
Items 54 and 55 have been dealt with. So the sheriff's items, now down to the treasurer, who was here earlier, but I think these are pretty standard. This is with Stanley Systems copier.
Yeah.
I'll move items 68, 69, and 70.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner comments, District 1,
I don't think I have any comments.
3.
No, keep an eye on the weather this time of year.
All right, any new business? Now, items 77 from executive session.
Item 77, I will move that we formally deny this claim based on the fact that Oklahoma County is neither the employer nor the joint employer with Oklahoma City County Health Department.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 78.
I think on this one,
Yeah, I'll let you take
this is the, we're going to ask to approve, is it $2,000? Is that correct, Ms. Etherington?
I think that was for item 73.
Is it 70? Okay, different item. Yes. Okay, we'll move, we proceed as discussed.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. And then item 73 is move to approve up to
But 70, yeah, 79.
Sorry,
I think.
79.
Right.
Move to approve up to $2,000 in deposition costs.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
80.
Item 80 is move to approve up to $3,000 in deposition costs.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
81.
Proceed as discussed. Move we proceed as discussed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
82.
A2, I think we need to strike
Yeah.
as it is right here.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any citizens to speak to the board that haven't already spoken? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's all right. Everyone in?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll call the PBA together. All three trustees are present. It was properly posted on May 12th. Is there a motion to approve the May 2nd meeting minutes?
I'll move approval.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I move we approve our claims.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 3 is a companion item from the BOCC about a flyer.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
2 new parking spaces.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the report of fees for PBA, April.
Move to receive.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the Metro parking reported fees for April.
I'll move to receive.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any citizens for the PBA? Hearing none, is there any board comments? If not, is there any new business? How about a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.